Hey, good morning, ladies. Okay, so we are still talking about the she should heal her, right? And I apologize, I am off to a late start this morning. I'm out of town and the time is different and stuff, right? Anyhow, so we're talking about she should heal her. I was having a conversation with a lady yesterday, really breaking down, what that meant, that she should heal her. And I know I've spoken about it on the lives before, and kind of, broke down exactly what we're going to be talking about over the week, but I'm going to go over it again real quick. She is the version of yourself that you are intended to be, the creation that God, universe, whatever it is you identify with, created you to be. That version of yourself when you close your eyes and you get in, your most comfortable state, and you start thinking about the person that you want to be, or the version of yourself, or the things that you want to do in life, the things that would make you happy, how you want to look, how you want to feel, things you want to accomplish. That is your she, right? Then you have the other side of that, which is her. That's your shadow self, they call sometimes, or your inner child, or your wounded child, they call at times as well. Just that side of you where you operate in fear, where that side of you has had to protect you. I mean, she's kind of stuck in that fight or flight, mode, right? Where she kind of has to defend herself. That's the her that I'm speaking with. There's a covering around her, not really a covering, I'm going to say a shell around her, or a wall around her. So as soon as she is faced with danger or some sort of event that is triggering her, she defaults into what she's already known, protective mode, right? Whatever that may look like for you. Fighting, arguing, running away, forgetting, like, or pretending like it just doesn't exist, right? Ignoring it. So that's the childlike, that's the her that we're speaking about. And then, ladies, there is you, right? You right now, you, the present personality watching this right now, the one that I'm talking to, where you are in this minute. You is stuck in like this tug of war of, I have this image of this person, right? And then I have this person down here kind of like pulling me down from being her, stopping me from being her, telling me that it's not safe to be, the she, I'm going to say, because it's dangerous, right? I might get hurt there. It's too complicated, right? What happens if you never reach that stage? What happens if it doesn't work out the way that you want to work out, or want it to work out? And then you're going to be disappointed. So you know what? Just don't do it. We're good right here. You know your struggles. Let's just stay where we are, right? That's that protective stage with her. Her wants to keep you safe. She doesn't want to harm you, but in keeping you safe, or too safe, it is harming you, right? So you're in that tug of war right now, where I want to be healed. I do. I really want to be healed. I really want to aspire to this greater version of myself. But yet I have this other part of myself that just keeps me down here. So sometimes, and let me know if this sounds familiar to you, you'll be on a high, right? You'll be doing good. You're meeting people. You're going to the gym. You're confident at work or in your job, and you're going out for that promotion. And then something will happen, like you'll wake up the next morning and everything just seems to be different. You're just kind of in a funk, and you're like, you know what? I don't know if I'm really prepared to be that person I truly want to be. I don't know if I should ask for that promotion. I don't know if I should have that conversation, that difficult conversation with my loved one, be it him, be it a mother, be it a father, be it a friend. I don't really know if I want to have that conversation. I know that I probably need to, but I don't really want to, because it may not end the way that I want it to end, right? I'm kind of fearful. Let me just stay away from that. But those are the conversations that you need to have in order to grow and go to a different level, right? So you're in that tug of war stage of, I know what needs to be done, I know what's better for me, but yet instead I'm still having, these issues here, right? And so I'm just going to not do anything right now. I'll just sit back and I'll just desire, to be this other person. I will, visualize it. I will talk about it to some. Um, but I'm not really going to make the attempts to be her. Or maybe you do make slight attempts, but then you come back down, right? You don't fully commit to the work, right? You have to be fully committed if you want to see her. So, like I said, in that tug of war, indecision is not a decision. Let me take that back. Indecision actually is a decision. Indecision is a decision to stay where you are, right? So, if you are not fully committed to it, it's not going to work. You have to be all in. You have to be there for the game, the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows, right? And I know it can be scary, but what you have to do is borrow that confidence from she, right? That version of yourself that you aspire to be, you have to just kind of start faking that funk and saying, you know what, I know I don't 100% feel like, I'm gonna say Sasha Fierce right now, Beyonce's alter ego. I'm not feeling my Sasha Fierce right now, but today I'm gonna put her on. I'm gonna go throughout this day making the decisions that Sasha Fierce would make, right? I'm gonna go about my business today as if I was already operating, right? Or if I was already fully at the capacity, mental, emotional capacity, operating fully in my desired womanhood, right? You have to borrow that until you are there from her. And I know it sounds like you have like split personalities. I'm going to say, and she wants that for you, right? But it's not a split personality. It's all three of your personalities. It is you. It is healthy. It is functional. It is sane. But you really do have three parts of you at this stage. And what we're trying to do is blend them together to have some cohesion in your life and some clarity, because from that place, you're able to make the best decisions for your life based on sensibility, and reality. Because right now, you're making decisions that are chaotic and they're not healthy, because you're making decisions from a place that's not informed. You don't have all the information, right? You are either making a decision from that wounded place, right, that hurt place, that childlike place, that the place that you never took the time to go back and revisit and to completely heal. So who wants to make decisions from a place of hurt and wounds, right? That's, you're not in your right mind frame to do that. And the place of, making a decision from you where you are right now, you're up and down. Your emotions are all over the place. One day you want to be up here, the next day you're down here. It's hard to make decisions from the place of hurt, her, or you confused, no identity, you, right? So we need to get to that point where you are operating in the she mode, in the ideal person mode, sooner rather than later. Bring all three of us, of y'all, of us together, of the she, of the you, of the her together, to really bring that cohesion and that clarity that you need. It's borrowed confidence from your higher self, because you don't have it right now, but it's fine. You're going to achieve it, right? So the first thing you have to do, though, is acknowledge her. You have to acknowledge her and say, you know what, little girl, I know what you've been through. I know that it hurt. I know that it was wrong. I know and I hear you, right? I know that you're trying to protect us, but right now you are hurting us, right? And you are preventing us from moving to the levels in life that we need to move to. So what I'm going to need you to do, little one, you're talking to her, your younger self, is to be okay with it. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to like it, but I'm gonna need to not listen to you right now. I'm go back and take her by the hand, right? And lead her to the place that she needs to be, right? You have to acknowledge it. So it's kind of like for, you mothers out there, right? Or, just women in general, you've been around children, even if you don't have children at this point in your life, at this age, I'm sure. Um, they have fits and temper tantrums, right? Sometimes little kids will want something, they'll be throwing a fit, uh, acting up, cutting up, whatever it is. because they just want that attention. They want to be acknowledged. Or either they'll just be doing crazy stuff, right? It's not necessarily bad, but they're just running back and forth in front of you or something, right? Just anything, or throwing the ball too close to you. But they're doing it because they just want that attention from you, right? And that's the same thing that's going on with your younger self. She wants your attention, right? So all you have to do is stop, acknowledge it, and say, I see you with that ball, right? I see you, look at you. I see what you're doing, right? Give her the attention, give her the acknowledgement. I see you, and I'm going to address you. I'm going to address the problems. I'm going to address the fears, right? And then we're going to go ahead and move in a different direction. Listen, don't spend a lot of time there. And so this is the biggest difference between therapy and coaching. Therapy, counseling, they spend a lot of time on the inner child, on the hurt. You could be in therapy for years, still talking about the wounds, in your pain, in your past, and addressing, her, right? I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but what I am saying, at some point, you have to have an actual plan, a blueprint, if you will, a roadmap to say, all right, this is where I'm going to go now. I have this information. I've acknowledged her. I know what the root cause is. So now what do I do with that information so that I can live my life better, right? Or in a different way, make different choices, right? I want to get to the she stage. And sometimes with therapy, they don't give you and provide you those tools in order to move forward, right? They give you the tools and the strategies to identify the problem. But now that I have the problem, and I know the problem, right? Where do I go from here? I don't want to stay stuck. I don't want to be here on your couch for the next year, 2 years, 3 years. I don't want to do that. I want to grow, right? I want to achieve. I want to live in my ideal state, right? So that's the difference between counseling and coaching. Coaching spends a limited amount of time on addressing the inner self. We want to make sure we get all of that stuff up, right? Because you have to make sure that you're spending enough time to make sure that it's completely clear. You don't want to rush through it and then there's still some residue, right? We don't want to ever have to go back and revisit that. But it does not take that long. It does not. It really doesn't. And believe me, I've been through all of the coaching, the therapy, psychiatrists, psychologists, all of them, right? And this is what has worked for me. And this is just me sharing my journey and my story with you. And then also the journey and the stories of so many other women that it has been successful for in their life. So I know that it worked. It didn't only work for me, but it has worked for all of the other women that I've worked with as well. So you have to, ladies, come out of the comfort zone. You got to come out of that. And I know it's super easy to stay stuck in the comfort zone because it's comfortable. It is. And, I'll just be super vulnerable and transparent with you. I suffered from depression for a long time, many, many, many years. So as most of you may know, or maybe you don't, I don't know. I was married for over, 20 years and, had that picture perfect ideal lifestyle, right? That people thought was good. But secretly, I was devastated because I knew that this was not working for me, right? I knew that despite what it looked like on the outside, internally, it wasn't a fit, right? Something wasn't right. And I didn't even know if it was necessarily just the marriage. I knew that it was deeper than the marriage, right? So I don't like to say the marriage was the problem and caused me to be depressed. It was me. No one else can depress you. You can only depress you. Now, certain circumstances in your life can cause you to go, to cause you to be sad and maybe go into a state of depression, but you are the one who's choosing to stay there. That's your emotion and your body and your feelings and your heart and your mind, right? So you can actually move out of that if you so choose to do so, right? So you could be in a horrible situation and not be depressed, right? You could be in the perfect of situations and be depressed, right? So all that to say this, when I was in my depressed state, I was so comfortable in it, y'all. it hurt so good. It really did. I was comfortable there, even though I was sick, even though I was tired, even though I was sad. It was almost satisfying to me, in this weird way. And that's the way that your mind can play tricks on you, right? Uh, it was safe for me, as hurt as I was. I felt safe there, right? And I'm not even getting into that because that's going to go into too long of a story, and I'm trying to keep it. I'm already over my 10-minute mark. But okay, I'll touch on it real quick. It's kind of like when someone is in an abusive relationship, right? And they know that they need to get out. They know that they need better, but for some reason, there's still a safety or a comfort zone that's there because they know what to expect, right? They know what it looks like. They know the demon that they're dealing with, right? But they don't know what's on that other side. And so they rather face the monster that they know instead of the monster that they don't know. Um, so that's kind of what happens with depression as well. You have to get out of that comfort zone. You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable, right? You got, there is no other way around it. Going to the gym, your body's going to hurt for the first couple of weeks, maybe months. Whenever you start working a new muscle, it's always going to show resistance, right? It's always going to give you some resistance. If it's not giving you resistance, you're not working it right. You're not. And you're not working it right, you're not going to see the growth, right? You start trying to run that mile for the first time all the way through, you're going to be out of breath. Your body is going to tell you, stop running, stop it. I'm tired. Why are we doing this, right? Why are we running for what? No one's chasing us. Stop running. I'm tired, right? That is just our body's natural way of trying to protect us from doing something that we haven't done and experiencing something that we've never experienced because it might be dangerous. It's that primitive state that I spoke about yesterday, that fight, flight, or freeze reflex, right? In our primitive, past, we needed that. That was our body's way of saying, hey, you're overexhausting yourself. There may not be water for miles and miles, away. So stop running, right? Calm down a little bit because you may not have the resources to replenish yourself, right? We no longer live in those times, right? But we still carry those on. So our our reflexes, our instinctual reflexes, are still activated and telling us, hey, don't try to to do anything different here, right? This is working for us. You've been alive all this time. You may not be perfectly happy, but at least you're alive, right? So anyhow, you have to be able to come out, recognize that voice, come out of that comfort zone and do something that you have not done before, right? And I'm just here to say this. I'm closing with this. If nobody has told you that you are worth it, you are worth the fight, you are worth whatever struggle that you have to do to get to your ideal stage, you are worth it, ladies, and you can do it. Believe me, trust and believe. I did it. There's been so many other women who have done it. There is no difference in me or you or any of them. We were in the same spot. You can do it. I did not have the confidence that I have now or the joy that I had then. Wait, did I just say that right? I didn't have back then the joy and the confidence that I do now. Not at all. I did not believe in myself. I got married when I was, 18 years old. I didn't know anything about being on my own and doing life, right? Matter of fact, my own mother told me, like, Naima, you've always had someone to take care of you. It's hard out there, right? What are you going to do, right? How are you going to survive? You need to just fix it, right? Just do what you need to do to stay in that situation, right? And I get it. He loves me and wanted to try to protect me and was speaking to my inner child, but she was also speaking from her inner child, right? And so, I want to get on that too. I just want to talk about so much, y'all, but I want to be respectful of time and keep this down here. I'm going to just touch on it real quick though. So when you're asking people for advice, pay attention to where that advice is coming from, right? Now that you know the difference between the she, the her, and the you, ask yourself, Is this person giving me advice from the she, the her, or the confused you, right? Where is this information coming from? And if it's at a lower state, you need to recognize it and probably not take that advice, right? Because it's not coming from a place of wisdom. It's coming from a place of fear, right? Know the advice and the ear, right, that you're talking to. They may not be trying to hurt you. They might actually be honestly giving you the best piece of advice that they can give you from where they are, right? People will only meet you where they last met themselves. That was good. And also, you will only meet you at the last place that you met yourself. That is it. I'm logging off. I'm done for today. Love you, ladies. Like I said, choose you. It is okay to choose you. You're supposed to choose you. When you choose you and your cup is full, and then when it overflows, that overflow is what you can give to everybody else. But unless you fill up your cup first, there could be no overflow, right? So go ahead, ladies, and fill up your cup today, okay? Start the program, start the process, invest your resources, your time, your money, your energy into you, okay? Not into the fake stuff of making you look pretty, the exterior aesthetic stuff of the hair, the nails, and all of that other stuff. Really invest your time, your effort, your energy, your resources, you into you, okay? All right, I'm done. All right, love you. Take care. Have an awesome day. I will see you tomorrow.